Hello everyone, it is that time of the month again. 3 seconds into this video and it's already awkward. Today I'm going to be doing my March wrap-up and April TBR. Let's get on to it. I read 9 books in the month of March, which I think is great, considering I'm going to be doing a 50-book challenge this summer and I really need to start getting prepared for that, so I'm super excited with 9. The first book that I finished is Nothing by Jane Teller. This book is about a kid named Pierre who basically deems that anything in life is just pointless, and so he climbs a tree and stays there and just has anger about everything. And so his friends try and compile a pile of things that they think matter. It gets really creepy because they start to put really interesting things in that pile, and overall I thought it was pretty neat concept. I gave it 3.5 stars. I just got a little bit weirded out by it, and it is like kind of juvenile writing because it was translated from, I think, like Swedish or something, so you can definitely tell it's not the best writing ever, but I did think it was a cool concept. And then I read one of my new favorite books, Just One Day by Gail Forman. I am in love! This book is about a girl named Allison, and she's on a trip to England for some kind of educational toury thing. And while she's there, she meets a guy named Willem, and on a whim, they go to Paris together for a day, and it's about their experiences together, then her having to move on after that one day. And I thought it was so great. I have a review of this up on my Tumblr, so I will link you to that. It was fantastic. And then I read Hyperbole and a Half by Ali Brosh. This is just a graphic novel, kind of, and I'm sure you've seen this before, so I'm not going to say very much about it. But I thought this was hilarious, I thought this was realistic, I was laughing out loud, and I was showing my friends, and it was just so great. And I highly recommend this book if you need something really quick, really uplifting, really funny. This is just all around great to read. I'm totally gonna reread this one day. And then I read The Invention of Hugo Cabaret. This is a very large book, but it's like mostly made up of pictures. So I read this in like 3 hours on just a night where it was slow and I had nothing else to read. And I really liked it. This book is about a kid named Hugo Cabaret, and his father has disappeared, and so he lives in a train station and he winds the clocks every day. His father has left behind this machine that Hugo has no idea what it does, and so it's him trying to find the parts to unravel this mystery of what his father's left behind, and he makes friends on the way and things happen. And it's a middle grade novel, but I'm in love with it. I cannot wait to force my children to read this, and I don't know why I've never read this before. It was so good. I gave this 5 stars, as well as the other 2, I forgot to mention that. Then I read 3 books for review, but one of them I don't have with me. They are Landry Park, Grasshopper Jungle, and then Rebel Belle. I did a whole video about these 3 books, with synopses and everything, so instead of talking about them right now, I'm just gonna link you to that in the down bar if you want to go see how I feel about them or get a description. I gave Landry Park 2 stars, I gave Grasshopper Jungle 3.5 stars, and I gave Rebel Belle 4.5 stars. Then I read Time Between Us by Tamara Ireland Stone. This is a book about time travel. I also just did a review on this, so I will link that instead of talking about it. I gave it 4 stars. Did I say that already? And then lastly, I read Angel Fall by Susan E., which is really small and really freaking addicting. I read this on a bus ride home from a school vacation field trip thingy thing. Angel Fall is about a girl named Penryn who lives in a world that has just experienced an apocalypse wherein the angels have come down from heaven and they're killing everyone, and basically the whole world is just destructed. Penryn ends up witnessing a fight between a couple of angels, and one of the angels gets his wings cut off, and then at the end of this fight, one of the bad angels ends up taking her sister, and then so in exchange for helping the angel get his wings back on, she requests for him to guide her where her sister is, and so they are traveling together, forming a friendship, and I just thought it was so fast-paced and just loved the characters. There were just a couple of minor problems I had with it that you can see on my Goodreads, and I gave this book 4.5 out of 5 stars. I gave myself a lot of books to read because I'm hoping to read more and more up until summertime, but I have projects galore this month, so hopefully I'll be able to stick to this. If not, whatevs, but let's just pray. The first book I had designated for myself to read, and I've also already finished this month, was the sequel to Angelfall World After. I'm not going to talk about this because, first of all, it's a sequel, and second of all, I'm going to be talking about it in this month's wrap-up, so shh, I liked it though. And then I plan to finish Uninvited by Sophie Jordan. I'm like, I think I'm on chapter 20. I'm on page 231 of this, which is, let me show you how far through. A little more than halfway. This is all that I have left to read. So yeah, this is really good so far, and haha. Uninvited is about a world wherein people have a killer gene, so if you're diagnosed with that, it basically means that you have a tendency to be violent and mean. And so our main character, Davy, is diagnosed with that, and it's just her having to deal with the aftermath of having to be confined to a new lifestyle in order to fit that, even though she doesn't really think she's a killer. Then I want to read The Giver, which is a book that I heard about from Taha Mafi. Actually, I've heard about this before, but Taha Mafi is my favorite author ever, and she always says her favorite books are Harry Potter and The Giver, so when Mommy Mafi tells you you need to read a book, you trust her opinion because she is God. The Giver is about a world that's perfect and beautiful and everything, but there's this one man called The Giver who has to teach a little 12-year-old boy about the world's history and everything that made it bad. I believe, yep, 12-year-olds being allowed to receive special training pretty much sounds like it, and I think it's gonna be really good. It's really short. I have not read this before. I am so excited. Then I want to read 3 books for a book signing I have coming up in May. Those 3 books are The Summoning by Kelly Armstrong, The Body Finder by Kimberly Durting, and The Pledge by Kimberly Durting. All of these, I am not sure what they are about. I have a very vague understanding of this book where it's a girl who's trained to find dead bodies or something to that liking. Otherwise, I'm going into these blindly and I cannot wait. I really want to get these signed and I want to enjoy them, and book signings, guys, I live for them. There are 2 books for review that I hope to finish this month also. One of them I'm planning to read soon, the other I'm not really sure when. The first book is Talented by Sophie Davis. This book is about a girl whose parents were murdered right in front of her when she was a kid, and so her whole life she's been trained as an assassin, and then she's going to go and kill the person who killed them. It just sounds really like Throne of Glass to me, which is why I was really interested in it. I've already read the first couple of pages and it sounds really enticing, and the writing is really nice, so honestly, I'm not too skeptical, that's exactly how you pronounce it. Grammar lessons from Whitney. I'm not very skeptical because I'm pretty sure I'll like this, so yeah, it's a matter of when I'll get to it this month. And the other book is The Inventors Secret by Andrea Kramer. Honestly, I have no clue what this book is about. I just saw Andrea Kramer and I was like, yes please. I have heard from other people, however, this is a steampunk novel, which isn't really hard to guess. Dropped it. Isn't really hard to guess because the cover is all like knives, and that's not a knife. Is it a knife? It's probably not a knife. I've never read anything by Andrea Kramer before. Hopefully I'll like this. Hopefully I can review it before the end of the month. And if not, then I don't know what I'll do. Probably cry in a puddle of my own sadness. This next book is a book that I just have wanted to read forever. It is These Broken Stars by, I almost hit myself in the face with it, by Annie, what was that? Amy Kaufman and Megan Spooner. This book is one of my friend's favorite books. Savannah, I know you're watching this, love you girl. And I think this sounds really neat. I cannot wait to get into this. This is basically like people say it's like a Titanic themed almost, but I don't really think it is. I think it's more like Across the Universe where there's 2 people, more than 2 people, but 2 main characters on a ship that ends up crashing and they have to survive together on a different planet, so I think that sounds really neat and I cannot wait. Ha! And the last book that I have to talk about is one that I have an announcement about also. The book that I'm going to be reading this month is Side Effects May Vary by Julie Murphy. And opportunity time! This book, me and several people are doing a read along with, so if you have this book or you have access to it within this month, I highly suggest you pick this up, read it at your own pace, and then on May 3rd, 7 p.m. Eastern Time, me and a ton of people are going to be doing a live show on Cassidy Von Shea. Oh god, username pronunciation. It's not even a username, it's her full name. That's even more offensive. It will be posted on her channel, and we're just going to be talking about it, we're going to be hanging out, we're going to be voicing our thoughts about it. There's going to be like 6 of us, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 of us. So yeah, it's gonna be so much fun if you can read this, or even if you've already read it and you want to come, definitely come hang out. It's gonna be fun. We're gonna have snacks. We're probably not gonna have snacks, but hey, book. Side Effects May Vary is about a girl named, it's not Annie, what's her face? Alice, I knew it started with an A. Alice is diagnosed with leukemia, and so she makes a bucket list of all these horrible things to do or say to people, and then after she does all of them, she realizes she's in remission, so she has to deal with all the consequences of those actions. I think it sounds incredibly amazing, and I cannot wait to start this. I'm gonna wait more toward the end of the month to read it, so it's fresh in my mind for our live show. So, wait, what is that? I have not seen that before. Is this blue? It's blue. Yeah, let me know if you're gonna be attending this or reading it with us. You don't even have to read it with us. You can just be spoiled on it if you would like. And that is everything I have to show you, so thank you for watching, and I hope I see you next time. Hope you're having a nice day. Look at my beautiful bookshelf. My room is so dirty. Do you see this? I have to go study for 3 tests now. Hold me. Goodbye!